In the tech world, things move so fast. But have you ever stopped to think, how do we actually define what a skill even is? Well, today, we're going to pull back the curtain on a really powerful tool that's trying to solve that exact problem. It's called the Skills Framework for the Information Age, or SFIA for short. So, here's our game plan. First, we'll tackle the absolute chaos that is the digital skills landscape right now. Then, we'll see how SFIA cuts through the noise. We're going to look under the hood to see how it works, check out who's using it in the real world, and by the end, you'll know if this is the answer you've been searching for. All right, let's just dive right into the heart of the problem. When we talk about digital skills, are we all even on the same page? Honestly, most of the time, the answer is a big, fat no. I mean, think about a job title you see everywhere. Senior developer. Sounds simple, right? But what does that actually mean? What skills do they have? What are they responsible for? The answer, which probably won't surprise you, is it totally depends. And this is where it all gets so confusing. At a small startup, senior might just mean you've been coding for more than 3 years. But go to a huge enterprise, and that exact same title could mean you're leading a team, managing a budget, and making major strategic decisions. It's the same title, but they are wildly different jobs. And look, this isn't just some minor annoyance. This confusion has huge consequences. It means companies hire the wrong people, employees have no clear path for growth, and organizations end up with a massive gap between the skills they have and the skills they desperately need. So that brings us to the solution. If the problem is that we're all speaking different languages, then what we need is a translator, right? A kind of Rosetta Stone for digital talent. And that's exactly what SFIA is. Instead of relying on those fuzzy job titles, SFIA gives us a precise, globally understood language. It gets right to the point, focusing on the actual skills and the level of competency someone needs to really succeed in the digital world. And that word right there, consistency, that's the key to the whole thing. With SFIA, that tiny startup and the massive global corporation can finally speak the same language. They can work from the same playbook when it comes to talent. Okay. So how does it actually work? How does SFIA take all this chaos and create order? Let's pop the hood and take a look at its surprisingly simple design. Now, you might expect some ridiculously complicated system to solve such a big problem, but the real power of SFIA is in its simplicity. The whole thing is built around just 2 basic ideas. And here they are. It's basically a grid. On one side, you've got the professional skills. That's the what you can do. Things like data science or cybersecurity. And across the other axis, you have 7 levels of responsibility. This is the how well you do it, from a total beginner at level 1 all the way up to a strategic guru at level 7. So what makes those levels of responsibility actually mean something? It's these 5 universal attributes. Things like autonomy, how much supervision do you need? Or influence, who do you impact with your work? This is really the secret sauce that makes the framework so powerful and consistent, no matter the role or the company. Okay. That's the theory. It sounds good on paper, but what does this look like in the real world? Who's actually using SFIA, and is it making a real difference? Well, if you're a professional, SFIA is like a personal GPS for your career. You can map out your skills right now, see exactly what you need to learn to get that next promotion, and build a resume that recruiters will actually understand. No more guessing games. Now, if you're a manager, this is a seriously powerful tool. You can finally write job descriptions that make sense, get a real measure of your team's capabilities, spot critical skill gaps before they become a problem, and plan for the future. And for HR and recruiters, this is a game changer. It's the backbone for managing your entire workforce. It means you hire the right people, you can design career paths that keep them engaged, and you have a fair, consistent way to manage talent across the whole organization. And this isn't some niche framework just for tech companies. As you can see, SFIA is used all over the world by massive corporations, governments, universities, you name it. That kind of widespread adoption tells you just how valuable and adaptable it really is. Which brings us to the final big question. We've seen what SFIA is and how it works. But what makes it so trusted, and how do you know if it's the right fit for you or your team? Let's start with pure credibility. This is not some new fad. SFIA is a global standard, used in nearly 200 countries. You just don't get that kind of reach unless what you're doing really, really works. And its success comes down to these core principles. It's built by the people who use it, so it's always relevant. It's flexible, so it adapts to your needs. And crucially, it's about what you can actually do, your experience, not just what certifications you have. Best of all, it's totally independent, not tied to any single tech giant. When you boil it all down, it comes back to this one idea. SFIA isn't some academic theory. It's a practical tool built by people in the trenches of business and industry to solve the real-world problems they were facing every single day. So, I'll leave you with this final thought to chew on. In a world that runs on digital skills, can any of us really afford the cost of miscommunication? Just think about it. Could having a common language be the one thing that finally unlocks the true potential of your career, your team, or your entire organization?